Jupiter and Saturn, the two neighboring gas giants. What will it be like to live on them, and which is better to live on? First things first, Jupiter and Saturn are gas planets. They have no surface for us to actually walk on. So if we want to live there, we can't set up buildings and pods. We can't even walk on the planet. So what do? The only viable solution is by having the rocket orbit the planet in its atmosphere. Whether it be a rocket or a structure like the Zeppelin, we cannot leave the spacecraft, and that sucks. But good news is that we don't have to worry too much about the spacesuits, since we will be indoors most of the time. Imagine lots and lots of rockets or ships like the Zeppelin orbiting Jupiter and Saturn, with lots and lots of people in them. Inside the spacecrafts, there's everything you need, ranging from rooms to food to drinks, gyms even, sightseeing, and much more. It's like going on a cruise or a plane flight, except it's in space and you are living there forever. Not bad, honestly. And if someone or some people want to move to another spacecraft that is in orbit, a smaller rocket can come up, attach itself to the spacecraft you're in, get those people, fly off to their destination, and that's it. So you can move from spacecraft to spacecraft. It's like taking a flight while in flight. Weird, but it works. Okay, so far it sounds like living there seems like going on a space vacation. For your whole life, that is. But what about the other things that should be taken into account? One thing is the strong magnetic field and gravity of Jupiter. Jupiter's magnetic field is very strong, and over long periods of time it can change the biochemistry of your body. It won't harm you out of the blue, but instead it will be a slow and gradual change to your body. Unfortunately, there's almost no hope in finding a solution to this, and that's because magnetic fields are always there, and we can't really see or feel them, and it's something that, for now, it can't really be eliminated. So if we can find a way to decrease the strength of the magnetic field of Jupiter inside the spacecraft, then we are golden. The gravity of Jupiter is also very, very strong. You would be about double your weight if you move to Jupiter. That is no good. Again, how can we decrease the gravity in the spaceship? That's a question that needs to have a solution, because we don't want everyone walking around like they have another version of themselves on their back like a piggyback ride for the rest of their life. That is definitely not pleasant. Another thing that could happen on Jupiter is that it could rain. Not water, but neon. Imagine you are in the spacecraft looking out the window at Jupiter and its clouds, and then you see glowing streaks of liquid falling from the sky. That would be absolutely beautiful. I can already imagine the amount of pictures that would be taken by the people once this happens. Jupiter has lots and lots of winds, so the spacecraft that we are living in must have an extremely accurate and stable balancing system. If not, then people will be tossed and thrown everywhere, and everything will be flying in the rooms and can break. It's not something we want. Now, of course it will be bumpy, we can't escape that, but we need to navigate the weather patterns of Jupiter's atmosphere in order to have a safe flight. What about Saturn? Now, Saturn is very similar to Jupiter. Again, a gas giant, and a very large gas giant. But one thing that is very different about them is that Saturn has these amazing rings that circle the planet. And this would obviously be a go-to sightseeing trip. Not only can the spacecrafts orbit Saturn, but some can even orbit the rings, as in follow the rings around Saturn. Now, this would obviously be more dangerous, since the rocks and particles can hit the spacecraft and interfere with us, but as long as we are a safe distance from the rings, we are fine. Now, what about Saturn's gravity? It's actually about the same as Earth's, believe it or not, so weight-wise, we will be fine. That is a very important note. So to clear it up, going to live on Jupiter or Saturn will be like going on a plane flight or a cruise trip on a vacation for your whole life. Honestly, I'd prefer these more than Venus and Mercury. Now, which would be better to live on? Jupiter or Saturn? If you ask me, I'd say Saturn. Its gravity is reasonable for us, and it has less harmful effects on your body, such as the magnetic field. But just get ready because it'll be the longest vacation of your life.